a chick, so say goodbye to everything you ever knew before. And I'd understand if you went running out the door. And I'll keep you safe, and no harm will ever come to you, I swear. And I'll kill if they even dare. I'll kill, I swear.
Hi, Your Highness.
Well, hello there, Mr. Boot.
Welcome to Michigan Murders and Music, where we discuss murders in our gorgeous state and top it off with a little homegrown music, leaving you with a happy ending and on a good note.
Thank you for allowing us to seep into your ears.
This week we are featuring a cool West Michigan band. They're called North 131.
We have some new thugs this week, Boot.
Oh, tell me.
First, we have this super cool dude that's really promoting us on Instagram, and he's just been really nice. Loves local shit. His name, I'm just going to do his Insta name. Dark Days 13. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoy your sticker and your mask. You rock.
Nice.
We also have Devin.kelch of Grand Rapids.
Thank you, Devin.
Own Your Own Blood. The Yippie Hippie. And Okipa.
Nice. Thank you.
Thank you all very much. I appreciate it. And if you could share with a friend, that's just a few more listeners we'd get. That'd be great. Thank you so much. Do we have an explicit warning?
Explicit content warning. Yeah, we do. So if
I don't know why
you
always have to do this.
find a jar of chloroform and rags in your son's backpack, we got rags, ropes, duct tape, tie wraps, personal lubricant, and an SD card. Oh, it gets.
I almost thought weird. SD like sexual disease.
Yeah, I don't know.
My mind works in weird ways.
And then when you look at your son's SD card, you find several pictures of his Aunt Cheryl.
What?
Taken from a great distance with a telephoto lens.
That's not okay.
So wait.
Should you call Aunt Cheryl first?
Call Aunt Cheryl first,
or do you call the cops? Or do you leave the cop? What do you?
I know.
Aunt Cheryl's gonna gross right the fuck out.
Oh, she's gonna have issues.
If I found out my nephew,
yeah,
no, that's not okay. So if your kid has done that,
that's not on us.
That's not on us. We definitely don't have rape kit
nor an Aunt Cheryl
insurance. We don't have an Aunt Cheryl either. We don't have insurance for Aunt Cheryl either. So don't let your kid listen to this. We aren't appropriate.
That's like flood insurance. You can't afford it. If you live in a flood zone, you can't afford it.
You can't
if you live in a rape zone, you
can't afford that goddamn anti-rape insurance. They won't do anything for you anyways. That's how insurance rolls.
Oh my God.
Where are we off to? Where are we road tripping today to, Boot?
We're going to a couple towns on the east side of Michigan.
Throw up your hand.
Yep, it's the thumb area, kind of here. We have Bad Axe, and we have a small town called Ubly.
I just want to call it ugly. Okay.
Ubly.
Okay.
Ubly?
Ubly.
Yeah.
Here's a little history about the town of Ubly. The town started named as Sidon because it was north of Tyre, Tyre, as in the Bible. Later, the town was named after Alfred Paget, who opened their first general store in April of 1870.
What'd they call it? Like Pagetville?
No, they just called it Paget.
Oh, Paget. Okay. Eventually, the small town needed a post office. A small group of men. What?
No, it sounded like something else when I just said that.
Oh, like a naughty slur?
Yeah, it made me feel bad for a second.
Oh, nope, we can't say that word.
Okay, go back to the postal service.
Eventually, the small town needed a post office. A small group of men gathered together and decided to come up with a proper name for the town. And they thought Pagetville? Mr. Paget declined, instead suggesting the town he knew in England called Ubly, Ubley.
However, whoever the heck was in charge of filling out the paperwork didn't fill it out properly, and they left the E out. So it is now Ubly.
It sounds like Ubly.
Ubly.
Yeah, so they just
Ubly.
left it that way.
Ubly. So just kept it that way.
As of 2019, the population of Ubly was 785. That's a pretty small town.
It's a really small town. Also, the house across the street's for sale and someone's looking at it. Should we pull our anti-neighbor thing?
No, we can't do that.
Oh, come on. It's like what they do in Step Brothers, but not that bad. We just like to turn up
That
some
would be funny.
gangsta music.
The dog's barking anyway. I don't know what. So
Anyways.
Ubly is the home to Michigan's largest wind park.
You know,
which
I didn't
think is
look
cool.
that up. That is pretty cool. I wanted to see what it looked like. It's still known as a very large agricultural area, which a lot of Michigan is.
Yep, Ubly is primarily the town where our story takes place.
Yeah, it is. It's
Bad Axe
Ubly.
is coming up.
It's Ubly.
The Sparling family,
Ubly.
consisting of Mr. John and Mrs. Carrie Sparling, their children have 4 boys and a daughter. The boys are Peter, Albert, Cyril. I'm going to say Cyril.
I say Scryle.
And Ray.
And they had a daughter whose name I couldn't find.
Yep, the family ran a very successful farm.
Their daughter had married and moved away, leaving the nearly adult boys and the parents to tend to the farm.
One spring day in 1908,
That's a long-ass time ago.
It was a long time ago. John was plowing his cornfield when he became sick.
So I bet he was plowing with some, maybe some horses,
Oh, maybe.
like coming through
Yeah.
the field.
No, yeah.
He had to push one of those,
Oh, my God.
You
This
know,
is
one
going to
of
be a
those
reoccurring
automatic-
theme. I see it already.
one of those
I
things.
should have just
It's like
taped
metal,
your hands.
and you have to go behind it.
I heard a
See? I told you there was one in there. You didn't believe me.
So he was taken to Port Huron Hospital and dies a few weeks later.
The family doctor and their close friend, Dr. MacGregor, didn't seem to know exactly what caused John's death.
Mm-hmm. So he
He was
says.
perplexed.
Yep. He ruled it as creeping paralysis due to acute inflammation of the spine.
Isn't that the weirdest thing? It's 1908. They didn't know shit back
Paralysis,
then.
yeah.
The death did seem to puzzle him, though, but that's what he listed it as. The
So-
whole community turned up for John's funeral. He was a likable local farmer guy, after all.
With her husband gone, Miss Carrie would have to run the farm by herself with the help of her sons.
Well, Carrie was used to doing the business side of the farming, as she had done it for her husband, all the paperwork and that type of stuff. So she had that under control.
And the boys knew what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the
So
farm.
it seemed to be working out for him. I'm sure it was difficult, but it was 1908. You got back on that horse and rode it.
That same year, the eldest son, Peter, I said Peter,
You said Peter.
was working in the hayfield when he became suddenly extremely ill. Same symptoms as Daddy.
Nausea, bad stomach, and abdominal pains.
Peter was taken to the same hospital as his father in Port Huron, and he died 5 days later.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Good old Doc MacGregor was right there to give the medical reason for death.
Oh, yeah.
Sunstroke and blood poisoning.
Mhm.
How do you even isn't blood poisoning from like infection?
Typically, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, something weird like
But
that.
the hospital doctors agreed with his conclusion and signed off on the death certificate.
Now that 2 of the Sparling men had died, a bit of rumors had started sweeping across their little town there.
It started walking its little way through the grapevine. The coconut wireless.
Was the land tainted? Was Miss Carrie poisoning their family? Was their family possessed or haunted?
Possessed or haunted.
Yeah.
Maybe the
Rumors.
land was haunted. After May 1911, the town had full-blown reason to start their talking and their gossiping about the family.
Just 1 year after Peter, young Albert, just 23 years old, was stricken with the same symptoms, nausea, racked with abdominal pain. And
Albert died just 2 days after becoming sick.
Mm-hmm.
That's number 3, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Doc MacGregor had known that Albert had an accident previously. He had been chasing stray cows and fell and injured his stomach area. So the doc ruled Albert's death as circumstances from the stomach injuries.
This is a weird Michigan thing, and I'm sure, Wisconsin and all the other states that have cows have it too, but they get loose, those fuckers, and they take off. And sometimes Highway 131 gets closed down because there's a bunch of cows walking around the highway, and cops have to go round them up.
They do.
Wouldn't that be fantastic to see a bunch of cops out there trying to round up the fucking the goddamn cows?
You can't get home because there's a bunch of cows on the highway.
You can't make that shit up, and I will post a link to the news when that happened. So cows get loose. It's part of life here. So
back to our story.
Maybe he did hurt his tummy and
he did.
Died of internal bleeding.
But because a cow got loose.
Yeah, well,
but if he was a real cowboy, he would have hopped on his horse like your Tony Bow or whatever he is. That's
Tony Bow's the motorcycle guy.
Oh yeah,
oh my
different
God.
one. So you're
JB Mooney.
Oh, mm-hmm.
What would JB do? He'd get back on that bull and ride it, and he'd pick a tougher bull.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now the town is totally talking shit about this family because everybody's dying. There's only 2 sons left at the farm, and it's only the guys that are dying.
And those guys, everyone else who's left is like, am I next?
Yeah.
Is it going to be me?
The young men are thinking, this is not good. I think that it's going in order of ages, and I'm next, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. So they go and visit their great uncle and try to get some advice from him.
Yeah, their great uncle. He was actually a former member of the state legislation, prominent man of Bad Axe at the time. His name was also John Sparling. The uncle highly suggested they hightail it to Canada to seek their fortunes, as his own 2 children had done.
It's just Canada.
Time out. Shut up, asshole.
The 2 remaining
Can we just
boys
go seek fortune somewhere? How does that work?
Oh, apparently
Was that
he
a
had an
1900
in there
thing?
somewhere. And
It was like, I'm just going to go to Canada and look for fortune. It's just going to show up in my lap.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be great.
The 2 remaining boys, Cyril and Ray.
You guys, how would you pronounce this? Cyrel. I guess it is kind of.
Cereal.
The 2 remaining boys, Cyril and Ray, agreed that it would be best to hightail it to Canada, but they have to save some money to do so.
Uncle John is left with an odd feeling after the boys left. He reached out to the county prosecutor, Boomhauer. I can't pronounce his first name. It has an X
Xenophon.
okay.
Xenophon. That's a cool. I had to put that name in there.
It sounds like some weird science fiction character.
It does. I wonder what it means.
Xenophon. Uncle John filled in Boomhauer all the details regarding the deaths of the men on the family farm.
Boomhauer assured that he was on it, and he assured John that the remaining boys would be safe under his watch. Kind of a narcissistic thing.
Oh, of course.
To say.
And he wasn't even watching them. So
Right.
a few weeks later, Cyril is sick. Same symptoms.
Doc MacGregor, seeing that he wasn't severely ill, realized that the symptoms were the same as all the previous men who are now dead.
He left some sort of stomach medicine, said he would return the following day. He did return the following day with a doctor from Bad Axe in tow, Dr. W.J. Harrington.
Dr. Harrington concluded that Cyril was ill, but would not die like the others.
Yeah, the 3rd day, MacGregor comes back with yet another doctor from Bad Axe, Dr. Daniel Conboy.
That's a funny name.
I know.
Conboy. By now, Cyril has more symptoms. His abdominal pains have worsened. He's inflamed mouth. And he has a feeble but fast heart rate.
Kind of sounds
Inflamed
miserable.
mouth doesn't sound very enjoyable.
Mm-mm. After the consult, the doctor seemed a little bit stumped. Dr. MacGregor suggested to Conboy that maybe it's poisoning.
Dr. Conboy agrees. It's got to be poisoning.
Mhm.
We don't know what else it is. There's no fever. There was no sign of infection.
And these guys are thinking, well, it's possible that the missus had
Dr.
something to do with
MacGregor
it.
is the one that put that out there.
You know,
Same
why would
as
he do that?
He is the one that put out, maybe it's poisoning. And then he says, maybe the missus has something to do with it.
Mm-hmm. We're going to find
He's
out something a
pointing
little
all
bit later.
kinds of maybes around, isn't he? Dr. Conboy is concerned about the suggestions of Dr. MacGregor. So he immediately chucks back all the way back to Bad Axe.
How'd he get there?
You guys,
I'm
Bad
pretty sure I know.
Axe from Ubly was 10 miles.
Well, you got to get there somehow, quickly.
And now it takes like 13 minutes. Back then, I bet it took
So he got there.
a long while.
The men decide they both needed to talk to Dr. MacGregor, so they headed to Ubly and talked to him at his office.
Yep. So now they've gone down to Bad Axe on their horses, I think, and then they busted back to Ubly on the same day to talk to Dr. MacGregor because this situation doesn't seem right.
Yes, Cyril's condition is getting worse.
So the three men, they discussed the situation of Cyril and his worsening condition with prosecutor, and the prosecutor Boomhauer says, I'm demanding that a nurse come to care for this young man, to feed him, to clothe him, to take care of him, in case it was the mom that was doing it.
Yeah, and he also said that if Cyril were to die, he would be obligated to do a post-mortem autopsy and figure out why.
So by the fourth or fifth day, Cyril had a house nurse.
Sadly, he died 2 days later.
Despite prosecutor Boomhauer's request to hold off on postmortem, Dr. MacGregor did it anyways.
Mm-hmm. Vital organs sent to Michigan University. The results came back rather quickly, and they found measurable amounts of arsenic, more than enough to have caused death and no other illnesses.
Okay, now from Ann Arbor to Ubly, it's 143 miles.
How do you get there?
I don't know how they got that stuff back so fast in 2 days. They did they have telegraphs?
Oh, maybe telegraphs.
Was Secretariat around?
Oh, maybe. They probably
Yeah.
had one that hadn't raced in a proper race yet, and they just
Rode his ass hard.
get it. Oy.
So when those vital organs came back, they knew, bam,
Yeah, they found
lots
arsenic.
of arsenic. So they decided they were going to pull up the body of Albert. He was immediately exhumed for examination.
At some point, Dr. MacGregor, this is weird. He started
He does get kind of cuckoo
saying odd things.
for coconuts.
He told the Detroit Free Press that all 4 of the family members died from syphilis.
You can't even die from syphilis.
Well, you
ya?
can. You
Oh.
can, but symptoms are completely different than that. I mean, we
But the
know that
reason
now.
he says that they're finding poison was because of the medicine he was giving them for syphilis.
I don't know.
It
Penicillin doesn't do
apparently contained
Okay.
poison in it. I don't know.
Okay. Upon talking to the doctor who did the postmortem, Dr. MacGregor said he was sure that now we have arsenic.
I know.
Arsenic would be in all of them. And that he would give up his left leg to find out who was doing the poisoning. Why his left leg? That's
He
weird.
uses his right leg for to kick the horse.
Okay.
And for the new cars that were coming up. Because guess what? In 1903, the Ford Motor Company was founded down in that area. And in 1908, General Motors Company was founded.
Sweet.
So he knew he was going to need his right foot for driving. So
Yep.
he's like,
it totally makes sense.
I'll give my
Wait
left
a
leg
minute.
to
When
find
they
out.
were all stick shifts back then.
Oh,
He's got a problem.
fuck. He can just
He's not thinking.
peg leg it back. Yeah, we don't know what's going on. MacGregor also went to the sheriff with odd concerns. He told the sheriff that all of the Sparlings would be found with poison, and that he knew the man who gave it to them, and a man who could make Mrs. Sparling confess. All he would need to do was look in the mirror.
Oh.
Telling on himself.
Yep. MacGregor also told the sheriff that Widow Sparling had sent him a present, a stuffed goose, and claims to have thrown it away because he knew it would be full of arsenic.
Who just sends a stuffed goose as a gift?
I know,
wanna
that's
go
creepy.
Back to the
Oh, here's
19 I would eat. Somebody send
here's
me
a
a
stuffed
stuffed
goose.
goose today. I'd
it.
be eating that shit because I don't like to cook. Send me food, people, please. So he threw the stuffed goose away because he was afraid that, the widow was poisoning him too.
Yeah, I wouldn't eat it.
I'm hungry right now.
Sparling had once gone blind from syphilis, and
Well, that's what he said to the sheriff. He said, in fact, Mrs. Sparling had once gone blind from syphilis, and that Ray was going to die of it too. Basically saying the entire family has syphilis.
the inquest into Arthur's death revealed that the life insurance policies were taken out on each of the men.
$1,000 each.
Oh, can you imagine that kind of cash
That's a
back
lot
then?
of doll hairs.
Oh,
The odd part is that the widow, Miss Carey, she used Dr.
Miss
MacGregor.
Carey.
She used Dr. MacGregor's father as her insurance agent, and he lived all the way in London, Ontario.
In Canada? Is that how you pronounce it?
Canada. Yeah, in that place.
Yeah.
And the policies were all to go to Carrie.
Yeah, she's going to get rich by killing these bitches. However, Carrie had literally signed over one of the checks to Dr. MacGregor.
So that's $1,000
bonehead.
check. So she gave $1,000 to Dr. MacGregor. The coroner's jury, they had this inquest going, and they found out this information, and they deemed that Arthur's death was caused by arsenic poisoning, but by an unknown person. They knew he died from poison, but they didn't know who did it. It's a who did it.
Right. Boomhauer issued a request for arrest for Dr. MacGregor, and he was arrested the next day.
MacGregor would stand for himself by stating that he had brought other doctors in for help, basically saying, if I did this, why would I bring other doctors in for help? And also that the death certificates were not signed by him, rather the doctors at the hospital. But if you if you recall, he's the one that suggested to the doctors at the hospital as their family doctor what he thought it was.
After he was arrested, it was said that he often broke down in tears in his cell, claiming his innocence.
Cried like a baby. Miss Carrie Sparling was also arrested, but later released to the care of her husband's cousin in Colfax, Michigan.
Oh, don't ask me to hold up my hand because I didn't look that up. I'm not sure where it is.
I won't ask, Boo.
I've heard of it.
I'll let you off the hook this time.
Oh, my God.
Only this time. God damn it.
MacGregor's
read the
trial
story next time, would you?
started in December of 1911. You're a dick.
The sheriff related the strange comments that had been made to him by the doctor, and the nail in the coffin was the testimony of their house servant, little Annie.
Annie stated that Dr. MacGregor came over frequently, and when he did, they would go right straight into the bedroom and close the door.
And spend, she said, anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes.
That's all it takes,
All you need. Dr. MacGregor was charged with murder of the first degree and would be going in front of a jury trial. During this time, they exhumed the bodies of John and Peter and realized that large quantities of strychnine were found, but no other signs of illness. Okay, I know you guys, we keep going back and forth between strychnine and arsenic. It wasn't very clear in the story. They used both of them. So, both deaths.
We're as confused as you are.
Right. We're even probably more confused. Both deaths were definitely caused by strychnine poisoning.
Dr. MacGregor was charged in these cases as well.
I have a question, though.
What?
We covered a few poisonings, and it was always the women. Women tend to be the poisoners, little witches. Those deaths were very, I want to say, dramatic. They were horrible. Their bodies convulsed, and it's always said that their arms like freeze and their hands clench and they foam at the mouth. And it didn't sound like any of these guys
I think
did that.
It was during a period of time in our history that there weren't. It's not like we had the internet,
Right.
you know. So you had to rely on a medical journal that was printed 20 years before.
From the doctor that was there 20 years before you.
Yeah, and try to figure out from what they have determined what could possibly be
Maybe
happening.
they just decided to leave out the harsh part of a strychnine poisoning.
Ugh.
It's
That's
harsh.
good.
It's ugly.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, Dr. MacGregor was charged in these cases as well.
During the trial of
Cereals. Skyrals.
During the trial of Serial's death, a pastor had noticed that the doctor visited when John was dying. After saying to John, he went into the bedroom with the missus.
Pastor even saw it happen.
Just to kind of help her out, pat her on the back.
After that, the doctor was seen going to their home approximately once a week after her husband died. And nobody appeared to be sick in the household during their visit. So why is the doctor visiting?
Right. And you think nobody notices, but, it's a small town. How many people are there now? 700 something?
Yeah.
There's probably 40 back then.
No wonder the whole family had syphilis. Oh, I did not.
So did all the farm animals.
Shit. Oh, snikes. Doctors from Ann Arbor concluded and stated that Serial and Albert had died from poisoning and that there were no other illnesses, not even syphilis.
The syphilis, as you...
The syphilis, I wrote. The doctor's wife took the stand, and she stated she had no idea that something was going on between him and Carrie. She absolutely refuted that idea. She said the two families were close, good friends. They visited each other often, and they even exchanged gifts at Christmas.
Yeah, like stuffed geese.
Bottles of arsenic.
The doctor took a stand and was actually up for grilling. He got grilled.
Grilled like
drilled
a steak.
And grilled.
Took the stand and was up there for 5 days.
He denied having anything to do with any sort of affair with Carrie. Denied the statements, and he stated all this to, everyone.
He denied all the stuff he had said to the sheriff before.
Oh, yeah.
When asked about the life insurance money that he used to buy a car with and the money given to him by Carrie for a vacation, well, that was payment for his medical services.
Yeah, because she cared enough about him that she would give him $1,000, which is probably $100,000 in our day. We should have done the math on that.
We should have. We can ask Google.
Anyway,
if we want.
Not right this minute.
He was asked for advice by the widow and her sons, and he said, my father's an insurance policy dude. He has really reasonable rates. Why don't you go see him?
You said insurance policy dude. I think that's the proper name for an
insurance
agent.
Policy dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 100%. And if it's not, it should be now.
And now things get weird.
The times in the bedroom, well, those were, of course, medical visits for her eyes, he stated. And they were in there having conversations about the sick people in her family. That's what they were doing in the bedroom. Jeez, you guys. Why do you have such a dirty mind?
On June 1st, 1912, that's a very specific date.
It was.
Dr. MacGregor waiting a mere 3 hours while the jury deliberated.
The jury foreman announced that he was guilty as charged for murder in the first degree.
He didn't even flinch.
Took it in with no change upon his face.
He knew what he did.
His wife dramatically threw herself into his arms, saying, "Oh, God, it can't be true that you are guilty."
Well,
he kissed her sweetly and calmly replied,
"It's too late now."
Many people believed that the doctor was innocent. And in 1916, Michigan's governor Governor Woodbridge Ferris actually conducted his own private investigation into the murders.
No, this is what gets weird. This is the old buddy system.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Because listen to this. Not only does the governor grant him a full pardon in 1916, but he appoints him as Jackson Prison's physician.
Yeah.
What the fuck? So I'm going to let you out of jail, and I'm going to give you a great job that you know you'll have forever.
Yeah, for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
But, check this out. He held that position until his own death caused by typhoid fever. Typhoid fever in 1928. He died at 53 years old.
Good.
He was,
Should have died
died
earlier.
young.
Boomhauer explained why Mrs. Sparling was never charged or brought to trial, because there really was not enough evidence to get a conviction, and he knew he wouldn't be able to convince a jury that a mother could poison her own children.
You know what?
What?
I love this sound. That's why I played it again.
I love horses. But I'm really glad right now that we don't have to take horses anywhere.
Oh.
To the store.
It'd be
Did
horrible.
you hear the
Yeah.
goat again?
Yes.
So that's it, you guys. That's the story of the Sparling men who died, and Ron just threw his papers everywhere.
Angrily. I want to hear this band.
And the woman who
North
may or
131.
may not have gotten away with it. Okay, it's time for our happy ending. Stop
Happy ending
jumping
time.
forth on me. Yes, this band is North 131, which, if you've lived in Michigan, you know is
Oh, it's a straight corridor.
all
North-south.
the way up and down the old Michigander areola.
Mm-hmm.
The song
Pretty drive.
is called, well, not during the winter. It's not.
Nothing is during the winter.
Fucking, my car wants to fall apart. It's
Oy.
so cold. My door just goes, crack. I'm going to fall apart. Okay. North 131. The song is called Greatest Night. Oh,
Yeah.
Fuck me.
That was your forehead.
What's that? What's gone, Dad? Baby, use your forehead. Here we go. Greatest Night. North 131 from the 616.
Let it all flow out. Voice. I'm so out of my mind, and I've got my friends in crime. Tonight we run this town, 'cause I can barely walk around. This is the most fun that I've ever had. The wrecking crew destroying whatever's in our path. And I hope this night never comes to an end. So just tip it back and forget what we said. I'm so out of my mind, and I've got my friends in crying. Tonight we run this town, 'cause I can barely walk around. This is the most fun that I've ever had. The wreck crew destroying whatever's in our path. And I hope this night never comes to an end. So cheers, tip it back and forget what we said. This is the most fun that I've ever had. The wreck crew destroying whatever's in our path. And I hope this night never comes to an end. So cheers, tip it back and forget what we said. Go!
Thank you for choosing Michigan Murders and Music. Please rate the show wherever you listen. Michigan Murders and Music is produced by The Boots. Episodes are researched and written by Your Highness. Edited by Your Highness. Views and opinions are the sole stupidity of us and us alone. Don't blame others, please. Listening to this podcast could quite possibly cause major problems to your earballs and definitely will mess up your kids. Permission has been given to us by the bands, and we purchase our music on bandcamp.com. Support your local music scene and all local music scenes.
Sound effects were used by Zap Splat. Thank you.